Right, so let's introduce our first guest, our only guest today, Mark Wood.
Hello.
We love him.
Hello guys, thank you Dr. Ronel for having me. Thank you Betsy. I always have fun when I come.
Anytime, man.
Good.
So, let's talk.
Well, the main thing I wanted to talk about tonight was swine flu because it's such a hot topic right now.
Good Lord.
And you know, the common protocol that's out there right now is to use Tamiflu, and that's the way that most people are dealing with it. However, the latest statistics that are coming out are showing really no difference between using it or not using it between the control groups. So I just wanted to bring it up a little bit and talk about what somebody can do as far as prevention. But Betsy, you were telling me that you guys have just been sick with swine flu as well.
Our entire family, Daniel, myself, and our 2 kids have been sick, and I know exactly who we got it from, and the person who we got it from was just coughing and not covering their mouth, and it was just such an odd thing to see because it was such aggressive coughing, and I just knew it. I thought there's just no way around this. So what I would do, well, first of all, Daniel and I actually took Tamiflu, just FYI for Mark and for people listening.
Yeah, I thought it helped me.
Yeah, I thought it helped me too, but again, there's no...
You took it right as soon as you felt like you were getting sick? And yet you
I
got sick.
did. I took it the day I knew I was officially sick. He took it several days later.
I waited till I started coughing because I thought I just had a little cold. And I thought I could fight it with zinc and positive energy.
2 good weapons.
Right.
They are good.
You know, and then I started coughing a little bit, and I said, okay, that's it. I don't want it to get any worse.
Well, the real benefit here is that you know exactly when and where you were exposed.
Oh, yeah.
And so often the very first thing to do is go home, gargle with salt water, and maybe some saline solution in the nose.
Yeah,
The idea of the flu virus is that it pretty much has to enter either through the nose or the mouth. It's respiratory.
Yeah.
So as soon as it settles in one of those tissues, saline solution is one of the best ways to get it out. You've heard of gargling with salt water for many years, and it
So
sounds a
gross.
little old hat, but boy, does it work in a situation
What
like
about the
that.
neti pot? I use that
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
with
Yeah.
their solution. So you know what I
Where do you
did?
get those?
I have one. You can get them at Whole Foods, Pharmaca, online,
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah, it looks like a little
everybody has.
teapot, and you just put it in your nose, and it's sort of a kinder and gentler way to,
I think Body might sell them.
yeah, to.
It's like, it feels like you're going underwater without holding your nose. You're getting water up your nose, but don't be, if you're scared of that kind of sensation, I personally am. I don't enjoy swimming and I don't like getting water in my nose, but I did it. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
The other thing that can be really helpful is drinking plenty of warm liquids, because if it has settled in the top of the throat, it's warm liquids will wash it down into the stomach where it can't do any damage, whereas cold liquids do not. So you want to have plenty of tea, plenty of warm drinks when you feel like you've been exposed.
Okay.
And the other thing is, I personally have never failed to see a virus that enough vitamin C can't knock out if you catch it.
Vitamin C, Norman Cousins.
There you go. And we were talking about that the other day, doctor, in the office. Normally, people are looking at you know, taking 1,000 or so milligrams, about a gram a day.
That's what I
But
do.
I usually recommend if somebody's been exposed for those first few days, hit it with about 5,000 milligrams, about 5 grams.
Okay.
And oftentimes you won't have a symptom again after that.
Interesting.
Yeah, you don't want to take it for too long at that dose because it can upset your stomach.
Right.
But
Absolutely true.
But certainly for 3 to 5 days, it's a fine remedy.
But
The other thing is that with, depending on the form that you're taking it in, if there's enough bioflavonoids, and normally you want the bioflavonoids for their healing properties as well, you can get loose stools if you overdo it. So just back off right away if that happens.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
did when this person was coughing on me the whole night? When she would cough on me, I'd stop breathing. And then I would quickly end the conversation, trying to it looked like I was going to end the conversation. I didn't want to open my mouth or breathe. So I'd look, and then I'd turn away and then take a breath and then go back or whatever. But then when I left her, I went in my car, it was so gross, and it hurt. I squeezed out some antibacterial gel and I just stuck my finger in my nose and I spread it around. No, it did not work. But I was like, darn it, I'm going to get sick.
Now, epidemiologically, it's important to know that there's two viruses out there. There's swine flu, but there's also the regular, seasonal thing.
Right.
And if you get one, you should still get vaccinated for the other. If you get one of these flus, then you don't need the vaccine for that flu.
We're in Santa Fe, though. There are so many
But you should
people
get-
opposed to the vaccination, and
Right.
that's fine. No judgment.
So I
There's,
got the seasonal vaccine. I still got swine
Oh,
flu.
you did?
But I got
Hey, where's mine, dude? Look at that.
That's right.
Always thinking of himself.
What can I tell you?
Now
Somebody
we know
walked
the
out
truth.
to me and shot me in the arm while I was in the operating room. That's what they were doing.
It's
They were
unacceptable.
inoculating
I
everybody.
need mine.
But this
Actually,
is
I don't really
interesting.
believe in it, so,
The test for flu A, influenza A, and influenza B, if you get the rapid test for it and you're positive, 100% of those tests are actually positive for swine flu. And the reason is the rapid test for A or B is not sophisticated enough to tell the difference between swine flu and influenza A and B. So if you go ahead and you further test it, and you send it to the state after you had a positive influenza A, all of those currently are turning into swine flu because swine flu is so prevalent. So it's very confusing, but the point is, if you get swine flu, you'll get through it. They're immune for it for the rest of the season, but you still need to get inoculated for the seasonal vaccine and vice versa.
If you're into it.
Well, and that's one thing you said, Doctor, that I think a lot of people don't really understand, that if you have had it already, you have been vaccinated. You
Right.
just vaccinated yourself rather than getting it through a needle.
Thank goodness.
Just to mention that a number of people who have been getting the swine flu, one thing that they find is that it doesn't tend to last as long as regular flu. So a lot of people beat it off early. The real problems are if somebody has a suppressed immune system, or if they're in a high-risk group, either very young, very old, or some other kind of sickness.
Yeah, it can be particularly nasty to them. And I mean, there are millions of cases of flu every year, and unfortunately there are many people who get very sick and many people who die from the flu, whether or not it's swine flu. This year it just seems to be a little bit sharper than last year. It doesn't mean that everybody who gets the swine flu is going to be very ill. In fact, the vast majority of people who have swine flu just have the regular flu or
But
cold
it is
symptoms.
more vicious. I mean, I had it, and Mark is right. It lasts for a few days, as opposed to maybe a week or 10 days. But what I found is that it goes away, and then you think you're better, and then it comes back again. Maybe not as worse. I'm experiencing that with one of my kids now, and I've experienced that through watching some friends have it. It's a rougher, more vicious little virus, but it's different. It's just it's tougher.
One other comment, there's a rumor going on about, have you heard about the H3N1?
No, God help us.
That's kind of a new one that's out there, and they're talking about it's a flu virus that dogs have, and the rumor is that people can catch it from dogs. But the research on it, it's actually an equine flu that dogs can catch. It
Okay.
cannot be transmitted to people. So
Okay.
if you hear about it out there, don't trust the rumors, you're probably fine.
I hope we don't start hearing about it left and right from the news, which is nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, watch your dog, because your dog will actually get the same symptoms.
Oh my
as the
God,
person with
we
the
don't
dog.
want that. Okay, well, thanks, Mark.
Well, thanks, Mark.
Thank you both so
It's a
much.
cheery
That was it.
topic. Okay.
You've been listening to Talk 1260 KTRC Western Medicine. We'll be right back.
We're going to talk about emails, listener emails.
Right.
Once a month, listener emails. We're very excited. We love these.